Hey guys, how you doing? This is Papa, and I was going to read you another Papa story. And you know who asked me to do this? It was Lily. Lily up in Washington, over by Seattle. She asked if I could give a story today. It's also Valentine's Day, and I hope you guys are having a great Valentine's Day. I don't have a Valentine's book, but at least we can be together and read a story on Valentine's. So I hope you're having a great time. And that includes Lily, of course, and Levi, and Parker and Gemma and Lucy, and the Johnstons. We just got back from a wonderful time with the Johnstons, and you got to see them help me with my last Papa story. I want a cookie, I want a cookie. You remember that song, and it taught you that instead of just wanting, you can say please. And please is like a magic special word that helps people want to help you. And in that story, when the little alligator finally learned to say please, got the cookie. And the mommy alligator was trying to teach the little alligator to say please. And so we're grateful for Isaac and Elise and Caleb and Laura. And even Janae tried to help out a little bit, and that was fun. So love you guys and hope you're having a great Valentine's Day. And I'll go ahead and read this story. It's called The Berenstain Bears Go Fly a Kite. Do you see the picture there? Do you see the kite and the car and their tree house? So I'll go read this. Now a kite, normally, I used to do it a lot when I was a kid. We used to periodically just go out and play with kites. But if a kite is working, they're pretty lightweight, and you tie a string to them. And if a kite works good, you let out some string and start to run a little bit, and the kite will start to go up in the air like my hand. And then you can let out the string and it'll go further and further away, and when you pull it, it can go higher. If you do it right, and if the kite's working and the wind is good, the kite can go really far, to the point where you can hardly see it, it's so far away. And I had that happen when I was a little kid. We had some good weather and good kites, and I remember letting the string, the whole ball of string, and letting it go and go and go and go until the kite got smaller and smaller and smaller. In fact, we had to cut little pieces of paper and put a hole through them and put them onto the string, and they would slowly go up the string so you could see where the kite was, because after a while it got so far away. But I have some really good memories of flying a kite. And maybe someday you'll be able to fly a kite. They don't always work. The wind has to be good and the stuff. But when they do work, they're a lot of fun to fly a kite. So let's see what's happening with the Berenstain Bears. There's brother and sister, and they just saw a sign. And the sign said, you know what? There's going to be a contest, and it's called Make Your Own Kite Flying Contest, Valuable Prizes. So they're reading the sign, and brother and sister say, we could probably win this. Let's go make our own kite and go enter into the contest and see if our kite does the best. That sounds like a lot of fun. See what happens. So they got together and they started using paper and cloth and scissors and sticks, and you can see some tape and even some glue. So they had their idea of how they were going to make their kite work, and look at them working together. Doesn't that look like fun, to build a really nice kite and then be able to test it? I think that would be a lot of fun. Guess what happens? Here comes Papa Bear, and he's bringing out all kinds of stuff, and he tells them that he used to be the best kite maker in the county, and that his kite would win the contest. And so he told them that they could help him build the perfect kite. But look, their kite looks pretty good. That's about what a kite looks like. Looks pretty good. But Papa Bear convinced them that he could build an even better kite. And so they stopped working on theirs and they all started working on Papa Bear's kite. And look, he's even got a fishing pole. And look at the stuff coming out of his pocket over here. Do you see he's got like cloth with knots in it? He's got big sticks. They've got smaller sticks and a lot of paper. Well, let's see what happens. And since I'm the biggest and the best kite maker in Bear County, we just can't lose. We can't lose. We'll just keep making our kite and we're going to win that contest. Wow, said Brother. And then Sister was pretty excited too. Look at what they had built. They had built a wonderful kite. And it's going to be interesting to see how that does, but everybody's pretty excited. Do you see that huge kite he made? Very fun. Well, but when the bears tried to test the biggest and best kite in all of Bear County, guess what? It didn't work. Oh no, it didn't work. It wouldn't fly. But then Papa Bear said, I know what the trouble is. We just can't run fast enough to get the kite up. Well, I've got an idea, said Papa Bear. He called to Mama in the treehouse and he said, Mama, would you please go get the car? Normally with the kite, you just run and it flies. He decided his kite was so big, it needed some help. And so he asked Mama Bear, beep, he asked Mama Bear, do you see her up there, right up there by my finger? He asked Mama Bear to go get the car. Okay, see what happens. Papa's plan was use the power and speed of the family car to get the kite started. All right, shouted Papa. And he was holding on to the kite. Look how big that kite is. That is a huge kite. Maybe he made a little bit too big of a kite. I've never seen a kite that big. So he's holding on. And there's Mama Bear. She's in the car. She's going to drive. And look at Sister and Brother with a fishing pole to make it easy to get the string in and out. Okay. And Papa said, when I say go, start the car. I'll give the kite a push, and then I'll hop into the car. All right, go! So he yelled at him to go. What's Mama Bear gonna do? Mama started the car, moving slowly at first, then a little bit faster. The cubs let out the string. It's working, Papa said. And indeed it was. It was working so well that Papa forgot to let go. Before anybody could think about it, the biggest and best kite in the county that he had just built was holding him up in the air. Look at that. He's up by the birds. And he's holding on. Look at him holding on. And they let out the string, and Mama's driving the car. Isn't that something? That is not what's supposed to happen when you're flying a kite. You're not supposed to be on the kite. The kite goes by itself. So Papa went up in the air, and he got a little bit scared. He started yelling, help, help! He was hanging on for dear life. Stop the car! Stop the car! No, yelled Brother to Mother. If you stop, Papa's just going to fall and he's going to crash. And then little Sister said, oh no, there's tall trees ahead. Go faster, yelled Brother. That'll help lift him over the trees. Mama decided to do what Brother and Sister said, and she sped up to get him over those trees. But once she sped up and got past the trees, and he made it, but he was higher than he'd ever been before. And he started really yelling, "Help! Help!" He's way up in the sky now. He's up higher than the birds. And he's trying to hang on for dear life. Wouldn't that be a wild thing to do? He didn't expect this. He was just trying to build a kite. And now he is higher than the trees. You know, at our cabin, the trees are really high. Really high. And he's above all the trees. And he is scared to death. Look at his hands. If he lets go, he's going to fall a long way. "The thing to do," said Mama, who usually kept her head in a crisis, "is to slow down gradually while you reel in the string. That way we'll get Papa down safe and sound." And that's a great idea because she's trying to think, what do I do? What do I do? So she decided, I'll slow down, but just a little bit, so you can slowly wheel him back in. And so brother and sister have a big job to do. They've got to reel him in while she slows down so he doesn't crash. They don't want to hurt the papa. But just up ahead, they saw a lot of kites flying. It was the kite contest. In their excitement, the cubs had totally forgotten all about the contest. "Stop," shouted the cubs. "We have to enter the kite contest." And then Mama said, "If we stop, Papa's gonna crash." And they drove right past the kite contest. And look at that. Look at all those kites and all the people flying the kites. Do you see the people flying all the pretty kites? See, kites can come in the normal way that's sort of like a funny triangle, but they can also be in these funny boxes, and some even have shapes like a face. People can do really funny things when they're making a kite. And they all seem to sort of fly if you do them right. But they ended up driving right by the kite contest that they had wanted to enter. So they're just going to go right on by. The cubs were really disappointed. They were so sad that they didn't even see that just up ahead, there was another contest going on. A hang glider contest. The giant hang gliders were zooming and swooping beautifully. And the bears and high-flying Papa were headed right for them. Now these are gliders. These are hang gliders. And they're like a kite, but they're much bigger. And usually you'd jump off of a cliff or something tall, and they slowly fly down to the ground. And people that are really good at a hang glider can actually make them fly like a bird, but they do slowly keep coming down to the ground. So, what's going on? Do you see them coming with Papa? Look at their car. They're pulling Papa, and look at Papa way up here. He's even taller than all of them, and he's still trying to hang on. Look at him. Okay. And look at the judges. These are the judges down here, and they're looking and trying to decide who's the best. But Papa, with Mama and Baby Bear and Brother Bear, Sister Bear, they are driving right through all the gliders. By now, Papa was doing some swooping and zooming on his own. In his struggle to get the kite down, he was doing dives and loops and all sorts of stunts. All by accident. He didn't know what he was doing. He was just trying to keep from crashing. The hang glider contest judges were very impressed. Look at him. He's all doing all these swoops and dupes and going up and down, and he's just hanging on. He's scared to death. He doesn't want to fall. And look at the birds are even looking at him like, what is going on here? This guy's going to kill himself. He's so... he's just not going to have a good day. Okay, let's see what happens. Papa's way up in the air still. Finally, Mama managed to slow down gradually and bring Papa down for a perfect 1-point landing. But the 1 point was right on his nose. He ended up bumping his nose. The kite had turned over at the very end. Isn't that funny? He ended up barely. The kite almost helped him. See the bottom of the kite helped him so he didn't get his nose too bad. Isn't that sort of funny? Well, what happened next? Congratulations, said the hang glider judges. We have awarded you the special prize of Best Stunt Flyer. Then the crowd cheered. Look at them all cheering. And look at the trophy. Best Stunt Flyer. And look at Papa. Isn't he having a good time? He's now a hero. And look at the people clapping. Even Mama Bear's clapping. I bet the kids are all excited. And then he said, thank you. Hang gliding just happens to be another of my specialties. Did I ever tell you about the time? Then he got interrupted. The cubs and Mama Bear hugged Papa. They were glad to have him back down on the ground safe and sound. And it was nice to see the big trophy that he accidentally won. Look at them all hugging Papa Bear. There's Mama Bear and Brother Bear and, of course, Sister Bear. They're all excited that their Papa Bear is alive and well, and he accidentally won a hang glider contest, something they hadn't even planned on doing. So there's a final page, Best Stunt Flyer. Well, maybe you guys can make a kite. Maybe make one, or maybe study about kites and try to see if it's something you want to try to make. Well, you can also buy them. They're not too expensive, but when I was growing up as a kid, I played with kites pretty much. I won't say like Papa Bear that I was the best in the whole county, but I did enjoy playing with kites. And on a good day, the kite was amazing. It was so fun. You could just sit there holding on, and the kite would just be so fun to watch. And it was just neat, and it could stay up for hours. It could stay up for hours. But that didn't happen all the time. Like I said, you had to get the wind right and get the right kind of kite. But it was a lot of fun. Maybe you'd like making a kite. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the story. And thanks again for the Johnstons helping out with the last story. I don't have anybody here to sing. I want a cookie, I want a cookie. We almost need them to sing it to us again. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful Valentine's Day. This is Papa. I love you all. And I hope you have a great day. And remember, I love you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.